From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Monday, October 17th. Some partly sunny skies to start our Monday. Some more clouds in north central Indiana, and then more clouds this afternoon and evening as well. High temps today are in the mid-40s, so we're really not climbing a whole lot today from where we started. Tonight, we have freeze warnings in effect across central Indiana, partly to mostly cloudy skies with low temperatures in the upper 20s and low 30s. So tonight and into tomorrow, it is going to be really cold if you've got those mums outside, if you have any flowers. Our meteorologists are saying either try to bring those inside or at least cover them with a blanket or tarp, something to protect them from that freeze. A 13-year-old girl is in custody for shooting a woman on the city's northeast side. That's according to a new online police report. Investigators say they found the woman shot in the wrist late last night at a home on Waterfield Place near 38th and German Church Road. At last check, she was stable. Officers found several shell casings at the scene and are talking with witnesses. IMPD hasn't said what led to the shooting or if the girl will face charges. The City County Council could approve Mayor Joe Hogsett's 2023 budget proposal today. A vote on the plan is scheduled tonight. The mayor first introduced the budget in August. There are four main focuses: expanding the violence reduction strategy, infrastructure investments, education, and property tax relief. It also includes a $100 million increase in spending from last year. The full council meets at the City County building tonight at 7. iTeam8 takes on Your Vote 2022. The three Indiana candidates competing for the U.S. Senate appear split on major issues like spending and abortion. iTeam8's Jasmine Miner breaks down the only scheduled televised debate ahead of the midterm election.
While there were three candidates on stage, Republican incumbent Senator Todd Young, Libertarian James Seanick, and Democrat Mayor of Hammond, Thomas McDermott.
I'd like to remind all of our candidates that we have so many questions, so I'd like us to restrain our use of rebuttals for the times most necessary.
Two were the most vocal on issues, especially against each other.
Senator Young talking about transparency, what a hoot.
One of my opponents is misinformed, or it's because they are intentionally distorting Hoosiers.
McDermott largely focused on how he believes Senator Young has mishandled the economy, while Young blamed the Biden administration for inflation and costly prices in the grocery store and at the pump.
This is the last thing you want to do, a stimulus bill, which led to all manner of inflation. So we need to stop spending trillions of dollars that will just exacerbate this problem.
Since he's been in office, he's added $16 trillion to our nation's $30 trillion debt. And you know what causes inflation? Government spending.
We have to balance the budget so that we can get inflation rates down. When we don't have a balanced budget and we keep spending, the Fed will keep printing money, and that contributes to inflation.
Well, the topic of who won the 2020 presidential election was something all candidates seemingly agreed on.
Biden won the presidency. He is our president.
Abortion rights took center stage Sunday night. McDermott and Seanick says an abortion ban isn't the answer, and Young says he's leaving it in the hands of Hoosiers.
Politicians should not act as physicians. Whatever law is created, either pro-life or to codify it, that we can still reduce abortions throughout America. And it's through a plan that looks through not banning abortion.
Right now, women in Indiana don't even know what the current status of the abortion law in our state is. It's because it's confusing. There are rights that should be set by the U.S. Supreme Court, and when they are set by the U.S. Supreme Court, they shouldn't be removed, especially after 5 decades of precedent.
The people of Indiana and 49 other states are in the process, consistent with our values and ideas of trying to get this right. I don't think anyone pretends that we've gotten it right. I do accept exceptions, and I'll accept whatever the people of Indiana decide.
Jasmine Miner for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And voters think the future of the U.S. is at stake with this year's election. That's according to a new poll from the Associated Press NORC Center of Public Affairs Research. The data shows 71% of registered voters think the nation's future is at stake, regardless of party affiliations, and 70% are dissatisfied with the way things are going in the country. That's up from 58% in October of 2018, before the last midterm elections. A member of the January 6th House Committee says the panel will ask a former Secret Service Assistant Director to testify again. Representative Zoe Lofgren says lawmakers wanted to go through more than 1 million documents of evidence before calling for Tony Ornato's testimony. Ornato met with a panel in January and March. Lofgren says she has questions about the advice given to witnesses and potential obstruction. As we've reported on Daybreak, we've talked about it here on the podcast, the committee voted unanimously to subpoena former President Donald Trump. If he refuses, the panel could send the Justice Department a criminal referral of contempt. Lofgren says the committee hasn't decided whether it would do that. The committee says it plans to finish its work by the end of the year. Now to Colts Watch, the team's waking up with a win and is in position to take over the AFC South. Sunday's victory over Jacksonville puts them a half game behind the Titans before this weekend's game in Nashville. The Colts offense may finally be in sync. It got 3 touchdowns, no sacks, no turnovers yesterday at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Colts took their first lead in the fourth quarter. The Jags responded with a touchdown, but couldn't get that 2-point conversion. The Colts took advantage of the time left on the clock, and quarterback Matt Ryan took a chance on rookie receiver Alec Pierce to score.
There was never any question it was going to be go the whole time. So, I mean, it was a perfect throw. And Alec did, just hats off to Alec, like the release that he had, because it's right in front of our bench, so I'm watching it the whole way. He had so much poise on the release. He didn't rush the release, and that's what he's been doing well all year.
I just trusted Alec. He's so good on those kind of routes, and I think a lot of times in those situations, throwing the ball past the sticks, being aggressive, taking a shot is huge. You can't play scared in those situations. And I thought it was, great call, great route, and just tried to give him a chance, and a really good play by him.
The Colts will get the chance for the number 1 spot in the AFC South next week. They travel to play the division-leading Titans. Kickoff is 1 o'clock Sunday. And today, most people can buy hearing aids over the counter. The FDA finalized the new rule in August, creating a class of hearing aids that does not require a medical exam or prescription. They're meant for adults with mild to moderate hearing loss. Millions of people will no longer have to see a licensed audiologist and spend $4,000 to $5,000 on a device. This is only for adults. People under 18 or those who have severe hearing loss will still need a prescription. The SEC is fining the University of Tennessee. Fans stormed the field after Tennessee beat Alabama for the first time in 16 years on Saturday night. The school is now facing a $100,000 fine for violating the league's access to competition area policy. Fans took down goalposts, dumped them in the river nearby. The school's football team tweeted that it is now raising money to replace them. So far, more than $30,000 has been raised. Huntington University is outlining major changes as it navigates a civil lawsuit over sexual abuse and doping. 2 former athletes accused the university of violating Title IX rights and failing to protect them from a predatory coach. The lawsuit claims former women's cross-country and track coach Nick Johnson inappropriately touched, manipulated, and sexually assaulted female athletes. It also accuses Johnson of injecting them with substances. The university released a statement over the weekend saying it terminated Johnson in December of 2020 over separate allegations. Leaders say he'll now be removed from the University of Hall of Fame. University officials say they placed Johnson's wife, another coach on the team, Lauren Johnson, and another coach, Curtis Hines, on administrative leave on October 6th, and they will no longer be affiliated with the university's running program. All of those coaches are named in the suit. The statement says an external team is now providing an independent review of the university's Title IX and sexual misconduct policies and procedures. The statement went on to say, "We grieve for the pain and loss these 2 former students are expressing. We pray for full healing and restoration in their lives and the lives of everyone impacted. We will work as a university community toward forgiveness and reconciliation in this matter." You can read the full statement online right now at wishtv.com. Look in the As Seen On section of our website. Police in Virginia say a man is in custody accused of shooting 8 people near James Madison University. Police arrested 20-year-old Tyrese Isaiah Fleming yesterday. Investigators say he opened fire on a crowd at an outdoor gathering in Harrisonburg yesterday morning. Fleming is facing multiple charges, including attempted murder and aggravated malicious wounding. Police say more charges could come, and they're now investigating if anyone else was involved. The 8 victims are said to be suffering from non-life-threatening injuries.
The suspect's reign of terror in our community has come to an end.
The arrest of a suspected serial killer sends relief throughout Stockton, California. Police arrested Wesley Brownlee early Saturday morning. He's accused of killing 6 men and wounding a woman in a string of shootings over a 3-month period. Police think Brownlee was looking for another possible victim when officers took him into custody.
Our surveillance team followed this person while he was driving. We watched his patterns and determined he was on a mission to kill. He was out hunting.
The city's mayor credited people living in Stockton for calling in hundreds of tips. Brownlee is set to be arraigned tomorrow on murder charges. And new overnight in the war in Ukraine, rescue operations are underway as waves of suicide drones nosedive into Ukraine's capital. It's not clear what the drones' intended targets are, but recent Russian airstrikes have hit infrastructure, including power facilities. There is some newly released video. You can see it online right now. It shows buildings on fire, debris in the streets, just devastation. Kyiv's mayor says crews pulled at least 19 people from the rubble at an apartment building, and at least 3 people have died. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry says it destroyed 37 drones overnight. Ukrainian officials say Iran is supplying the drones to Russia, and Iran denies that. And Iranian officials now say at least 8 prisoners are dead after a fire at a political prison in Tehran. Officials had previously only reported that there were injuries from the fire. The flames broke out at the prison Saturday night. The facility has long been known for holding political prisoners. According to prison security officials, a group of rioters set fire to a clothing warehouse in the complex. They say no one escaped. The fire comes amid nationwide anti-government protests over the death of a 22-year-old woman in police custody. To business headlines, lower gasoline demand amid increasing supply and fluctuating oil prices has contributed to the national average moving downward. If demand continues to drop as oil prices slide, drivers should see pump prices increase slow and decreases grow through the weekend. AAA says that the current average in central Indiana is $4.08 and the national average is at $3.89 a gallon. Kroger and Albertsons shares fell after the grocers announced they wanted to merge. The companies believe the move will lead to faster and more profitable growth and generate greater returns for our shareholders, in their words. And the chairman and co-founder of Arizona Beverages has doubled down on maintaining the 99-cent price for its canned iced tea amid high inflation. Fox Business reports the company has altered the tops of the cans to make them cheaper to produce. Snapchat introduced AR try-on lenses for Halloween costumes. Snapchat users can try on and purchase costumes from Harry Potter to Chucky to Minecraft. Users can find the Halloween try-on AR lenses by visiting Disguise's Snapchat profile or by searching specific brand names such as Harry Potter in Snapchat's Lenses Explorer. Toys R Us has found second life as new in-store locations have opened in select Macy's department stores across the country and celebrating with 9 days of free events. The toy store giant filed for bankruptcy in 2017 and closed all locations in 2018. Each Toys R Us store will feature playful colored fixtures, hands-on demonstration tables for customers to interact with various toy assortments as well. The majority of people now say that flight disruptions are their number one concern when traveling. TripIt released the September survey. It showed 70% of the 1,700 people surveyed agreed that the disruptions are more of a concern than both higher costs and COVID. 57% of respondents who flew in the last 6 months said they experienced some type of disruption. 44% say that they plan ahead for the disruptions. Over half get to the airport earlier than they used to, and 41% avoid checking bags. And finally tonight, Carrie Underwood will be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for the first time in more than 3 years. The Grammy-winning country superstar is on her Denim and Rhinestones tour. Special guest Jimmy Allen will also perform. You can still get tickets online. Just search. You can find tickets starting at about $50 and up from there. The concert begins at 7:30 tonight, again, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.